The transfer portal's on fire. Did you know that? If you didn't, I'm here to warn you, the transfer portal is on fire. Caleb Williams, as of airtime tonight, still has not made a final decision. But what's interesting is we've been talking about that January 28th drop ad date for classes out at USC. And there's some debate as to how hard that date is, but there were speculations and rumors floating around LA, still are, that today or tomorrow was kind of going to be when USC found out something one way or the other about Caleb Williams. Ooh, had a bad hiccup there. So, over the past 72 hours, there was a little bit of smoke about Wisconsin. Now, you'll remember, what was it, about 2 weeks ago on the show, this show, we mentioned Wisconsin. I've got to be real with you. My strategy was not to call our shot. My strategy, as I told producer Jesse, was to just have something in the can. This sounds a little bit slimy, but I just wanted something in the can so that if, on the off chance Caleb Williams committed to Wisconsin, we could go in our bag and we could say, called it. Now, everyone would understand it was kind of sarcastic, but it turns out, yeah, there was a little smoke there. We don't know how much smoke. We know that there are some family relationships and acquaintances and connections with the supposed offensive coordinator that they have hired / are hiring. So, yeah, there's a little more there than meets the eye. And I selfishly, now if you want my rooting interest here, and most of you, if you're not a USC fan, I think most people would be rooting for something like that to happen, like Russell Wilson did once upon a time. But I would have to say USC is still the odds-on favorite. Now, I was over on the Peristyle earlier. It's the USC message board here at 24/7 Sports. And I knew this was coming. You could have predicted this. If Caleb Williams did not immediately leave Oklahoma, do his due diligence in about a week and a half, and then commit to USC and Lincoln Riley, you were going to get some folks who got upset because this kid is not working on my timeline. And we've avoided that on this show, but I know some of our USC brethren are very antsy because right now it is January 27th. We're trying to get ready to kick off spring practice in like a month. And, in an ideal world, yes, you would like to know who your starting quarterback is going to be. Remains to be seen. We can confidently report that USC has been slaughtering the transfer portal outside of Caleb Williams, but as of tonight, we don't know anything more about Caleb Williams. But that's not even the juiciest bit of speculation about transfer portal quarterbacks, even in the last 4 hours or so. So right now, depending on where you get your Ole Miss news from, you are probably seeing some people out there report that Jackson Dart has been accepted into Ole Miss. There is some speculation out there that he has enrolled. We can't confirm that. At least we have not confirmed that. Now, I've been in the studio 20 minutes. So maybe outside in the real world out the door, maybe a lot's changed in the past 20 minutes. Chris Hummer, who works for us here at 24/7 Sports, I would highly advise you to follow him on this whole situation. I don't think he's a guy who is going to be scooped on this. Meaning, when there's something solid to report, based on what I know about what he knows about all this, I think that's going to be the guy you want to be following. This morning, he put in a crystal ball, I think it may have been yesterday, put in a crystal ball for Jackson Dart to Ole Miss. And I can tell you that really backs up the way that we felt about this, thanks in part to his reporting on the issue, that they are the overwhelming favorite at Ole Miss to land Jackson Dart. Has it happened? Maybe not as of yet. Michael Trigg, the tight end who seems to be attached at the hip with Jackson Dart, I think probably if you have a rumor about Dart, you might as well just put Trigg's name in the blank below that. Hold on. Okay, so I just got a voice in my ear. That's Jesse talking to me in my ear. Chris Hummer, just moments ago, we were live, this is how live broadcasting works, put in a crystal ball for Michael Trigg to Ole Miss. So even as it just comes out of my mouth, we didn't produce it this way, but it works out this way, that you can assume those two are attached to the hip. That's what Chris Hummer kind of all but confirms there. Look, I think it's imminent that they both end up at Ole Miss. If/when that happens, it is a monstrous piece to Lane Kiffin's 2022 puzzle. Because you got Matt Corral heading out the door. Luke Altmaier, as it stands right now, would probably be their starter this upcoming season. And this is no knock on him, but if you want to advance on the progress that you made on the field in 2021, I think most reasonable Ole Miss fans would speculate we're going to need a guy the caliber of Jackson Dart to do that. I told Colin and Jesse before the show, we clip most of this for individual use the next day. I told them, boys, I highly doubt that by the time the sun comes up tomorrow, everything that we say in this particular part of the show is going to be relevant. Maybe it will be, but I think that this is going to get dated pretty quick because I think we're going to see action potentially on multiple fronts over the next 24 hours and who knows, maybe 12 hours. You got to remember, when we're talking USC and we're doing a 7 o'clock Central Time show, they're just driving home from work. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. You guys are going to watch the show, and knowing some of you, you're about to go to bed after this. They're just driving home from work out there. So who knows? Still a long night ahead in Southern California. Now, there is a guy that we can definitively just confirm and get out of the way where he's going, and that is Jerick Bernard, a Converse, 3 names there. We were talking about him the other day. He is the 4-year starter from Oklahoma State. He's a corner, all Big 12, very, very good player. And he entered the transfer portal. He didn't stay there long. He has committed to LSU. This is a monstrous pickup for them because that second corner spot, those that follow the program are well aware, it was a huge question mark. That thing was going to be really, really up in the air. And this is a guy who is essentially a plug and play. It's kind of like when Georgia picked up Darian Kendrick. There was no, okay, he's going to go to Georgia and battle for a starting spot. Yeah, the coaching staff didn't just come right out and say, he's a starter, nor is Brian Kelly going to come out and say, this guy's a starter, but I, on this show, will come out and say, that guy's a starter. And he's going to be a very, very timely addition to the LSU secondary. Now, you watch the style they play at Oklahoma State, and there is a stereotype about Big 12 defenses that has just been thrown in the trash. They're playing really good defense in the Big 12 now. And that guy was among the reasons that Oklahoma State, in some metrics, had one of the best defenses in the country this past year. So, you know, this is not some woebegone, also-ran corner who's got no tread left on his tires, and the tires really wouldn't go that fast to begin with. He's a player. He's played a good mixture of zone and man. The kind of scheme that they ran under Jim Knowles there makes him probably very prepared for whatever they're going to run at LSU. So that's a big pickup there. Look, the transfer portal is close to winding down until after spring. So we're going to do the segments. We're going to talk about it on the show as long as we need to, but we're getting close. But obviously 2 of the biggest dominoes are still out there. So just keep an eye. Caleb Williams, Jackson Dart, if/when those ticking time bombs there in the transfer portal go off, we'll talk about it. It's going to be a big deal.